Vegas in their initial over-under has the Kings projected for 31.5 wins. Sean, I know you're
That's a
pretty good. That's
pretty good.
I'm sorry?
It's pretty good.
Stop it.
I mean,
So low. They were at like 36.5 last year. They're clearly better.
I'm not stunned about how low it is, by the way, Sean. That's
right.
Deuce.
What did they finish? How many wins they have last year? 30?
30, and they got better, and they added some bonus.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just think if you're looking at, the start of last year with that roster.
But here's the other thing too, Sean, because I'm more along the lines with you where I'm also like, even if they did get better, you just mentioned it when you were just talking about Mike Brown and like, hey, first year head coaches, things are always a little janky. Like you've got to grow together. People just think it's not like you're plugging in a LeBron James, a Jason Tatum, and some other guy and being like, all right, now it should be at like 38 wins or whatever the hell you want to put it at Vegas. So it's like you made the roster better, but other teams in the West, are better. Other teams in the division are better, which the Kings play more games against those guys. So I'm fine with 31.5, even though I do believe it's a little low, but whatever.
I honestly might push back right there. I don't know that you could say the division's better. The Lakers are what? Still the Lakers. They're still messy.
LeBron, AD.
The Warriors lost a lot of key pieces. They did. And they're still going to be good.
Healthy Clippers.
The Clippers, sure. And then the Suns. Did we see Game 7 last year against the Mavs?
One game, bruh.
Okay. See, you're going to downplay
that.
They
got to play Game 7.
You're going to downplay all of that. That's fine.
I'm not downplaying. Okay. Sean, now what's your opinion on the 31.5?
So yeah, likely the Spurs are going to be worse, right? We're going to have the Spurs worse. Utah will be worse. Minnesota's going to be better. And I think with the Lakers, they're just going to be healthier. And I think that's at least the mindset there.
Anthony Davis is going to be healthier. You're going to take that bet, but 31
and LeBron, hopefully, I think for Laker fans, I think they're used to Anthony Davis being hurt.
LeBron and DeRozan won by 2 points in the Drew League.
Why are you even like they get out of here?
What Deuce is saying, he's going to go bet the house on the over here. Yeah.
I am just honestly, that number floored me. If you would have put it at like 36,
not floored,
36.5, I'd been like, okay, that's about the same as last year. Whatever. They got to prove things. It's Sacramento. I'd get all that. The West. 31.5 is utterly ridiculous. And people are going to make a lot of money if they bet on that stuff, I think. What's your best case?
You know where I stand on this, though, because like,
what's your best case, worst case for the Kings then? Let's say best case.
You got to see it. You got to see it first. You don't.
I understand that, but you watch the NBA. You could see it on paper as we approach the season.
I'm with you, Sean.
God, you fence sitters here. I mean, they got better. You just you're talking about how much you like Herter and Monk and how they can help. Sabonis and Fox is in good spirits. They add Keegan Murray. I mean, what's the best case? Okay, let me ask you this. Just like I asked Morgan, I feel like, God, again, interviewing another politician here, dancing around the question.
God.
I did the same thing to Morgan. Can they be over 500 next year?
No. Wow. I think they can be. I don't think they will be.
Okay, that's fine.
I said that same thing. There we go. See, we didn't sit on a fence with that.
Yeah, like I also, again, this team still has a lot of holes to it. Most 500 basketball teams have pretty complete rosters that you're ready to compete with. And I don't think they're ready to compete yet. I don't think they're there yet. They have players I like, and they have things I like. And I was kind of realizing this last night where sometimes fans you can say some good things about Neemias Queta, for example, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Neemias Queta and I think some people might be really high and he's ready to be a roster player on the Kings. No, I wouldn't be there quite yet. And I know I was having a conversation with Damian last night, Damian Barling, and Damian was pretty high from what he saw with Neemias in summer league. And I said, well, I think what it looks like to me, and again, I was a little pretty critical of what he looked like in California Classic. I think he looked better towards the back end. But I think he's on the right path, like two-way player still being there. I need him to play more in Stockton.
Yes,
I need him to be. I'd like him to go out there and be a 20-point scorer and do so efficiently and rebound the hell out of the ball and be a monster like he is. I think it was super impactful for him to be around the team last year and see what NBA culture is all about. I think it's going to be even better for him to be around somebody like Sabonis and say, hey, this is what life could be like. This is what maybe you should strive to be like. Only maybe a better defender and whatever else. Like this could be what you project to be down the road. By no means do I think he's an NBA player, and I think people are ready to move on from Alex Len, and I don't blame them. But I think Alex Len is a hell of a lot more skilled center than Neemias Queta is right now. He also has the benefit of
I don't know about skilled. I mean, I'm borderline.
Experience.
I think Queta.
the
I think
experience.
Queta
Definitely.
has upside for sure. I think especially to start the year, just have him in Stockton, get those minutes, get some real time, because there's so many times last year I felt like he was
in between
in Sacramento too much for not even playing. And you're right, there's some benefit to just being around an NBA squad, picking Sabonis' brain, all that stuff. But like, he just needs to play.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Len. What I mean by that too is like Alex Len has the intangibles. He knows he's a professional. He knows he knows what works for him. He knows how to work in a system. I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a great player. I don't think he's a great player. In fact, I wouldn't have made that signing. I've famously said that, but
Famously.
just famously, famously for some people in the organization who didn't appreciate me saying that. But that's a former number one pick, man. Like there's people who still like what Alex Len can bring to a basketball team. It's just it didn't work, and you were surrounded by so many big men, and Queta is just so raw and still not there yet. And it could project well down the road. Sure, I get it. They're high on him. They like him, but this is exactly where he needs to be. So just using that in mind, like somebody gives somebody credit about what they can be, what they could bring. That doesn't mean that, hey, that's what they're going to be next season. And sometimes people read that a little wrong. Like KZ Okpala, Chimezi Metu, Chima Moneki, guys like that who come in and you like them, you like what they can bring and what they can provide. And certainly there's boxes they check, but doesn't mean it's going to translate to wins and losses. Like you can still do better than those players like in the NBA. So man, like I just, to me, when it comes to picking win totals and looking at rosters and saying what a team should be, I don't like it because to me, I have to see it first. Like someone can't tell me, dude, it's been 16 years of this shit. So you can't just sit there and say, like, they should be this, they should be that. Like, I agree with you in theory. Like, the expectation of you being in the upper half of the NBA, yeah, you should be there.
That's all I'm asking. I'm not, again, I don't need a specific thing, but I think we can all look at rosters around the league and before a season go, hey, that team should be pretty good.
Sure.
That team should work.
Is this team incrementally better defensively, do you think? Because I don't.
No, I don't think defensively. No, I mean, I think they're banking on things that we haven't totally seen, where it's like, hey, Brown can Brown put a system together. You've got smart, high IQ guys. You don't have a ton of lockdown defenders all over this roster, but I think he can put some guys in a position to be improved defensively. And again, it all, in my opinion, starts with De'Aaron Fox, because I still think Fox can be a solid defensive player in this league, and he showed times in certain matchups against like bigger guys last year he could do it, but he's got to do it from the get, and he's got to be engaged completely on that end. But I'm also not under any type of thought that they're going to go from like 30th to 10th.
No.
Can they go from 30th to 22nd? Like if they do that and the offense is better, they should be just a better team.